I'm Chet Omilanowski, age 57, and was a psychology major. And I'm here with my son, Collin. I was also in the class of 81.
I'm Collin Omilanowski. I'm the son of Chet and Ellen in the room. I'm 22. I'm a part of the class of 2016. And my majors were history and classical studies.
I'm Ellen Omilanowski. I'm 53. I am the wife of Chet and mother of Collin, my woo boys.
Hello, and welcome back to another installment of Project 150. 150 stories for the 150th anniversary of the College of Wooster. I'm Sarah Torrio, and in this episode, we speak with Collin, Chet, and Ellen Omilanowski.
Well, I remember when we were playing with one of those foam footballs in front of the football stadium, and we were just throwing it around, and I was thinking, boy, it would be interesting if someday Collin ended up at Wooster. And then also when he went to basketball camp, and he was holding basketball on the steps of Carnarvon Lodge, and I thought, here he's 12 years old, and it's like, is this a possibility in the future that he could end up at Wooster too? And we didn't even think much of that, but it was ironic that he was in Carnarvon, because Carnarvon was the dorm that I was at my freshman year.
Well, it was funny because when, remember when Collin was looking at all the different schools, and I kept saying to you, Chet, like, okay, don't make it about you. This is about Collin. This is about, letting him choose his school and his right fit. But Dad kept saying, you were like, I want him to be a Scot. He was born to be a Scot. Like, no, let him choose his own school. But of course, you were over the moon when he made the choice of, I am going to go to Wooster. So it began. We just loved coming down here and seeing him. So.
And then also when I think back of choosing Wooster, I remember coming down with my dad for the interview, and it was in the wintertime. My dad hit an ice patch on Route 83, skidded off the road, and he ran over a mailbox. So then I helped my dad push the car back on the road. Of course, he had to go to the house and talk to the owner there, and we got back in the car, and my shirt was like dirty, and pants were dirty, and I walked into my interview with soiled clothes. and I said, you would not believe what happened to us on the way down here. and they go, oh my gosh, so...
fortunately, nothing like that happened with Collin.
No, talk about a great college entrance essay. Well, what were some moments where you thought Wooster was not your best fit?
When I was trying to figure out what kind of major I wanted, I came into Wooster thinking I was going to be a child psychologist. Then I thought, okay, well then maybe I'm going to go take some history classes. And then I decided to take a geology class, and the beauty of a liberal arts education is you take a little of this and a little of that, and you see where it all fits in your life. And I thought, like I said, at one point I was going to be a geology major, and I took one class, and I was really excited about geology, physical geology with Dr. Kropp, who was awesome. And then I ended up with a second class of historical geology, and I got sick in the class. Ended up in Hygeia Hall, which was their little hospital clinic. Was in there for 7 days with the swine flu, I guess it was. and I came out, and I barely passed historical geology. I said, that was it. I was done with geology. So I started going on the road to history, and had a concentration in history, and then ended up in psychology.
It's
What
fun.
about you, Kyle? What do you think?
I think it's funny that so many people's initial troubles at Wooster, are with finding a major, because then that really is like the lifeblood of where you are and what's your identity like, and like.
Yeah, but you didn't really get away from what you initially wanted to do. You pretty much knew as a freshman you wanted to be a history major.
Yeah.
But then.
Yeah, well, okay. That I think the problem was that looking back, now that I just graduated, I wish I had not been a history major, and I wish I was archaeology and classics instead of just history, because I felt it was too narrow-minded, and history department's too damn big. It's like it's really hard to meet people and feel like you're a part of that community, whereas like archaeology, it's like, all right, we're just this little cult of small people in the basement of Calc, and you like to look at dead things and rocks and soil and all this fun stuff.
Play in the dirt.
Yeah, so
Well, there's so many different directions you can go with history, though. So
Yeah.
I can see how you can think it was huge.
yeah.
I remember when Collin was going to high school and going to an all-boys private Catholic high school, he came home and said to me, he goes, Mom, Mr. Grossock said to us, you will meet some of your very best friends. But I really don't think that happened to you so much in high school, but you've met some lifelong friends here.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, do you remember how you met some of these people?
It was funny, actually, when I was just in California with my friend Sarah. I started swing dancing in the club here, and she was doing it too, and her and it was like a few other people, Ellen.
That's how you met Sarah?
That's how I met Sarah.
Oh.
And then a couple of us went down to the downtown underneath the gazebo, and people put there was lights already up, but someone brought a speaker, and so we did some swing dancing down there. It was funny because I kind of stole Sarah and Ellen from these other two people that hung out with them a lot.
This episode was produced, written, and edited by Samuel Carlson, Ronnie Wright, and myself. Special thanks to Brett Woodard, Richard Figge, Chet, Collin, and Ellen Omilanowski. All music used is from audioblocks.com. This project is supported and sponsored by the College of Wooster. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time.
one of the craziest things that I did was I did join the Oats, and there was one night when I was in Andrews Library, and it was called I think it was Hell Week. And what happened was I was in the library on the second floor. Some of the new pledges came up to me, and they picked me up, and they carried me past the front desk, threw me in a station wagon, and said, "Where are we going to take Chetsky?" Says, "Okay." So said, "Well, let's go to Shreve Swamp." And it's like, "Oh my God, the Shreve Swamp, I don't know if I want to go out there." And he goes, "Okay, well, what's another place we can go?" And so what they decided is take me to the Ramada Inn, and I was stripped down to my underwear, sitting in the lobby with tape over my mouth, hands tied behind my back. I'm sitting in the lobby, and between the two doors there. And I remember there was somebody that was going in the hotel and says, "I see you're all tied up. I guess they want you to stay that way."
Well, didn't they give you a dime?
They gave me a dime, and it was like 15 cents for a phone call. So I was really screwed. And this was before the era of cell phones.
I don't know.
Oh, long before.
That's horrible.
Do we want to know what some of your crazy things done?
I don't
that
know.
You've done,
I was
dear?
thinking about this, and I'm trying to remember.
Well, just yesterday he showed us how him and his friend Ian got out onto the roof of the library.
Yeah.
And I videotaped him shimmying out the window. Next thing you know, Colin's on the roof.
That was fun.
It was, yeah.
And then you were wearing a cow shirt, which like our band on campus now, and I had a cow shirt on. And then...
Oh, and so Chet and I are sitting there going, I wonder if somebody would say, "There's somebody up on the roof of the library wearing a cow shirt." And they come in and they see Chet, and they go, "What were you doing out on the roof?" And be like, "Do I look like I could fit through that window to get out on the roof?" I don't think so. You know?
I guess if you take Wooster extended, I think the one thing we take Wooster and extended. I went to an archaeological dig in Romania last summer, which I'm returning this summer as well, and we were trying to get to Transylvania, specifically this town called Brasov, and we were trying to figure out how to get to that place. Took a train down to the another city, and it's always been pretty hard. Now, mind you, it's Wooster connected because there were a couple Wooster students on this trip. So it's like 10 o'clock at night, and we're sitting in this bus depot, and we're wondering, like, oh God, we don't speak the language. How are we going to get up to Brasov? This is ridiculous. So fortunately, one of our members spoke Spanish, and then randomly some other dude in Romania spoke Spanish at the bus depot. Super sketchy. And he's talking to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you a really good price, just like fit in the back of my car." And we're like, "Oh no, this is like taken all over again."
Yeah.
So we ended up piling in, like the 10 of us in this van, driving through the night to the city.
Oh, I did not know about those.
Yes, and we paid him, and it was definitely illegal because he told us that if we were to be pulled over, we would have to say, "Oh yeah, well, how did you meet?" When everyone's from the U.S., Germany, Australia, England. Well, like, "Oh, we're all Facebook friends, and we're Facebook friends with so-and-so, the driver."